Hello, this is Astro Breeze, and welcome to this week's transits, our weekly transits. And another big week. We're into eclipse season. This will be we're coming into a full moon, lunar eclipse. So let's get right to it. So, yesterday we just moved into Scorpio. We're in that scorpionic time of year now. This is where things get deep. It's where things, um, you have an urge to know. You maybe have a deep bond that needs to be dealt with or connected on, deep parts of yourself explored, other people, knowingness, understanding. This is this time of year where we're turning that on, and it's scary going deep inside. It's scary looking at your demons. It's scary looking at yourself. You know, your shortcomings, your misgivings, and that's the whole idea of Scorpio to point that out so it can be healed. Welcome to Scorpio. Well, look at the little trio we have here: the Sun, Mercury, and Mars. So we've got energy to do it. We've got energy to investigate. We've got energy to go deep, to do a deep dive. Not such a superficial skimming, but maybe a focus on something deeper than yourself. That's the whole idea of that. And if you have things, square to that or opposition to that, that'll just make it more rough on you, a little bit more trying, or, you know, it's like it just gives you the opportunity to work through those things. So that's how I like to look at it. Okay, well, anyway, that's a big deal because look at that. It's all within orb. We got this big focused energy, Sun, Mercury, Mars. We got, the energy of the Sun and Mercury, the communications, and Mars. So also investigating, deep investigations, and clearing things up. And it's in one of those yucky kind of weird minor aspects over to Neptune. They'll be making at the sesquiquadrate. I think it's that square and a half. So anything to do with square or half a square, square and a half, it's all irritating. So that's happening there. And then as we move to today, we have the Sun starting to walk into that nice trine with, well, actually yesterday we started when it was at 0. Nice trine over to Saturn. Sun in a water sign, Saturn in a water sign, so the trine there. So that's been kind of building, and it's a nice reprieve of energy. It's like the universe rewards you for job well done, and doing a thorough and a good job, not a half-assed job at that. So yeah, that's in flux. That's happening. Also, the moon has just been going over Pisces. Over Pisces. The moon in Pisces just went over. As it went into Pisces, it went over Saturn. So it brought some um, would you say kind of, I don't want to say dour, but serious feelings, serious reflection, concrete, draw the line in the sand emotionally. There's a good one. Yeah, a lot of that this last 24 hours or so. And when it passes, I mean, it just passed it, but it's still kind of in effect resonating that. So that's kind of interesting. All right, what else on today? That nice, again, the Sun trining Saturn. We still have that energy, with us. And this heavy, intensive Scorpio now. We got it going on. Mercury's moving fast. Look how it pulled away from the Sun, and it's heading toward Mars. Woo! All right. And then we get toward Wednesday, and the moon is still moving in Pisces, and it's about to make a connection with Neptune. I know I don't zero in on the moon a lot because it moves so fast, but I try to bring up when it does significant things. So it being in a conjunction with Neptune, your feelings, you could get swayed again from the decision you just made with Saturn. So watch that. Watch that the feelings that you don't get bamboozled, schmoozed, fall for something, be confused, get the wrong information. Your feelings were wrong. So watch all of that while the moon is going over Neptune. So it's starting tomorrow about 4:30 in the afternoon East Coast, and I give it the rest of the night. I give it all of Wednesday night, and then it'll pass and it'll be better, and then the moon will get more clear as it goes into Aries. Let's see, what else do I have here? I think I pretty much just have that on Wednesday. But look at this. We've got sorry, some of these squares starting to build. These oppositions. Mars at 9 degrees, Scorpio starting to oppose Jupiter at 11. Okay, and then we'll have the other two doing that. So we're going to have all of these planets, yippee yippee, all of a sudden start to oppose Jupiter. So, and then as we get toward the lunar eclipse, so there could be, it's not always bad. It's stressful. It could be you have to work more, you get more opportunity, you have to communicate more, get on your game more to make money, to make the deals, to solidify something, with that Jupiter large and Taurus, Earth grounding. So maybe you got to work a little bit. You got to sell it. You got to push it. It's not going to come easy, but that's, you get more reward that way. So I'd like to maybe think about it like that. You got to put out the effort to get the reward. La 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 la. And Thursday. Well, now we got the moon moving into Aries. That kind of hopefully will, I would just waylay any pushy decision or anything that could seem nebulous. Just wait till Thursday, in the afternoon a little bit, or maybe around noon or so, East Coast time, late morning, because then the moon will be moving into Aries. So that will clear the air. Aries doesn't have time for that crap. So it'll either be a good thing or you'll see through it and dissolve it. All right, so Aries is starting to now march toward the North Node. So we've got your feelings now, maybe, if you've gone with some, let's go back up here because this is significant kind of with the moon journey. We had that a little bit with Saturn bringing up the structure and the discipline to that model and feeling, or maybe saying, look, you're not a victim, get to it. And you got the energy of all of the, the Sun and Mercury and Mars all aimed at that and putting energy toward that. And then as it starts to oppose the big thing, you got to make this a reality. And then you get a little maybe confusion, self-doubt, something kind of comes up, something's nebulous, something you get told is mistaken or something. And then you just kind of wait that out or investigate it, keeping a cool head, because you got to realize you're going into the fog. Maybe think about that. It's like, you're driving, all of a sudden fog comes on, you go, oh, can't see. I think I'll turn on my low beam headlights, or I'll drive a little slower. So that's what you have to do, and then it clears up, and then it's in Aries. It's like, oh, I see it. And then we go toward the North Node is what you want. So this is kind of bringing this to fruition. This is a powerful, powerful thing, and then it'll, reach over into the eclipse. We'll see in a moment. Okay, Thursday, and then we go into Friday. And we got that moon and Aries energy, and it just be a few hours, because I have this set for a day. I have it at 4:37, but it'll move through the, it's conjuncting the North Node, so that is bringing that energy to fruition. Friday, which is very cool. Uranus and Venus. Venus is, coming, as it's going further into Virgo, it's coming into a trine with Uranus. Maybe some sudden windfalls, sudden reward, sudden something out of the blue comes to you. Maybe your values all of a sudden get lit up somehow. You realize there's something. So, and then as Venus moves on too, it'll then start into an opposition with Neptune, but we'll talk about that later. So watch for that nebulous stuff coming back at you next week. All right, here we go into, oops. I don't want to go into Friday, went too fast. All right, now Friday we come into our lunar full moon, our lunar eclipse, a full moon at 5 degrees Taurus. And let's see, maybe I can do it. We did that hours. Well, it'll be depending on where you are in the world. Now we're into Saturday, East Coast, so in the West Coast. Here we go. Yeah, let's go all the way around again. Don't do it in the afternoon, Saturday. Sure enough. Yep. Yep, there it is, Saturday. 4 in the afternoon, I could have just left it. Okay. Anyway, it's at 5 degrees. So see, the sun is at 5 degrees and it's a full moon. See all the oppositions? And Mercury is opposing Jupiter, so we got kind of like a double little whammy, and Mars is exactly opposing Jupiter. So we've got some, solid. We've got some interesting energy trying to make solid, trying to bring down to earth, trying to investigate deeply. Putting that on and pinning it down. It's I would say that the North Node eclipses are a little bit more forgiving. They're a little bit nicer, but there's some. It depends on, like I said, maybe make sure that you know where this is in your chart to see how things all be eclipsing or what areas they're moving through. What area is Taurus in your chart? What on your physical nature is maybe being taken. What should I say? Reinvestigated, re repurposed. Okay, things on that physical level, because you're bringing stuff deep, because we're diving in, with Scorpio. This is as deep and energy to drive deeply, to investigate, to get to the bottom of something, to see through it, to call it out, to keep on it, because Mars is there, and we've got that. It's like you're putting the pedal on and you're putting the heat on. Don't let them get away. Don't let the perpetrators walk. How do I say it? It's kind of like, don't let it don't let it go. It's gonna poison, and it's like you got a poisonous snake, and you're holding it by the throat. Don't let it go until it's dealt with properly. Let's just put it that way. Don't just let it go. Especially if you've got chickens and livestock and children and stuff around, you know what I mean? So we gotta handle that energy appropriately. All right, this is intense. This is very intense, and we've got this nice little outlet of trine of Venus to Uranus, though. That it's kind of a little offshoot of good, harmonious, maybe interesting things. Okay, looking at Mercury, we said like Mercury was now conjuncting Mars. This is a kind of a whole nother issue at the same time. Mercury is just like driving right up to Mars, man. It's Mars driving. It's gonna get in the driver's seat and Mars move over a second. You know what I'm saying? So mental energy will have a lot of energy to investigate, or energy to be pinpointed on something, to be super hyper focused and maybe vocal, maybe bringing out truth, maybe calling something out, maybe standing your ground. Because we just had that nice Sun Saturn trine that was bringing up those good structures. So this is maybe the first challenge of testing those good structures that got brought out. So this is very powerful. And then we get past that energy. Let's see, there it is. I'm still on hours. Let's go back to days. Then we move past it on Sunday. The sun moves past. We get the exact conjunction of Mercury and Mars at 12 degrees. So look and see what you have at 12 degrees and what kind of an aspect it's making to that. Is it in a sister sign? Is it in a water sign? Is it in a fixed sign, making a square? If it were a water sign, it would be trine. If it's a fixed sign, it would be square. What's other fixed signs? The Aquarius. There's some at 12 Aquarius, or if you have something at 12 Taurus, that way you would get a square, or you get the opposition, and then you would get the conjunction of these things in here, of the moon going over and Jupiter. And Leo, give something around 12 Leo. Give a few degrees either side because of the aspect. So those are the important points of certain things coming up. That things that, of course, at 5 degrees, which, we were just talking about where the eclipse was, so in a fixed sign, it was in Taurus, so you can check around the clock there, check around, see what you have at 5 degrees in fixed signs. It would affect you more harshly than if it were in earth signs. If you had things that were trine to that, it would be, you would be off the hook a little bit better, a little more. What do I mean by that? If you have, back to the eclipse, if you have, say, something at 5 degrees Capricorn, it's going to be trine this sun moon eclipse energy, right? Or such actually the trine the moon. If you have something at Taurus, so we did that one. If you've got something here at at Virgo, and that you'll be trining as well. So what we just said. I'm sorry, where am I at? Virgo, right here. On the wrong side. If you had something in Virgo, then you would have something trining. Trying that. Sorry. I'm going this way. There it is. All right, next day. Sunday. Sunday we've got still that the Mars Mercury conjunction is going over there, and then it just had passed over the opposition of Jupiter, so we just had those happening. Again, a lot of energy could be coming into expanding something to bring it down to earth. You might be working on something on the home, on your business, something harmonious on that. And then here the moon. It's interesting on Sunday when the moon hits 9 degrees Taurus, kind of in the middle of these two, makes a trine over to Venus. So there's could be some good things coming through with hard effort, with putting a little bit of effort forward to allow this solidity of something come forth. And on Monday, we're just kind of, mainly the big aftermath of everything is kind of like a big, but we do have kind of an interesting setup to the week where we're coming closer and closer into this exact Venus Uranus trine. You can see here we've been building, and then by next week when we come back we'll see it exactly. I have it set for passing it, but you can see it there. Let's go back. So that will be very nice. That will be good to kind of kick off our week after going through this eclipse energy. And it is intense. It's like energy overload or energy deficiency. And the north node, they tend to be more overload. So you could get really busy. Things can be on. The switch is on and you can't turn it off. Whereas sometimes on the south node, it's the other way around. So that is, that's the big news for this week. So put all your ducks in a row and ride that wave. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye for now.